Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids, across our beloved Empire. Dang. It is pretty great to be in the Empire today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. We're in the midst of all the craziness that happened yesterday with Mara Jade's kit reveal, and shortly after Starkiller's kit reveal. No one's really talking about what also happened late yesterday because it was such a busy day. Darth Sidious' Omicron, a rework, as well as Chief Chirpa. And this is going to be great for people pushing for Sith Eternal, for example, or you're getting your C3PO, which is a cornerstone character in the game. Those teams, those factions aren't as appreciated nowadays. Is the Omicron going to put them back on the radar? Well, let's come on over and talk about it. But before we do that, I got just a minor bone to pick. Ever since Omicrons came to the Galaxy of Heroes, and then shortly after, apparently CG predicted the next variant of COVID-19, which I thought was pretty hilarious about the timing. 2 weeks later, after Omicrons came to Galaxy of Heroes, all that happened. My point being is, ever since this came to the game, I get nonstop comments, not even on my channel, other people's channels, like, oh, it's so cringe how you're saying Omicron. It's pronounced Omicron. And then if I say Omicron, they're like, oh, it's nails on a chalkboard. It's Omicron. No matter which way I say it, people get ticked off. Well, I'm here to prove you snooty people wrong. No, there is no consensus on how to say it, apparently, even from scholars, as I'm going to show before we get into Darth Sidious. I have to put this out there if this is going to be a thing for Galaxy Heroes. Even when you type in Omicron pronunciation, you get two different ones at the very top. Here, turn off the music for a second. Hear this.
Omicron.
Omicron. That's what I said the second time around, after I said apparently the American pronunciation.
Omicron.
Omicron. So, and here's another thing right here. Look at this. And I read this is why I was inspired to share this. Even when I read a Wall Street Journal article the other day, there is no consensus. However you pronounce Omicron, you're probably saying it wrong. Even scholars of ancient and modern versions of the language sometimes disagree. Even before the pandemic, linguists couldn't agree on what ancient Greek sound like, other than it often didn't sound like modern Greek. Among scholars, there's no consensus on how Omicron was pronounced in millennia past. Even in those days, people in different regions spoke their own dialect. So stop commenting on YouTube saying, oh, it's so cringe. I'm just so happy to say you're wrong. There is no consensus on how to say it. Because I first said Omicron. It's like in Chicago, we don't say the Bears. It's the Bears! Even though they suck this season. But I digress. I know this is fun to bring up because one of the funniest things of 2021 is Omicrons coming to Galaxy Heroes, and then 2 weeks later, the new variant is declared Omicron. So perfect timing on CG's part. I'm actually more interested in Darth Sidious, but I do see people initial impressions saying they're feeling a little bit underwhelmed with Darth Sidious on paper. Now, understand, it is impossible right now to rank Omicrons. It's simply impossible because right now we just really have textual stuff, and especially in the Grand Arena ones, we have no way of testing. Qui-Gon Jinn looks bonkers, but we actually haven't tested it out. And Darth Sidious might be the same way. He's getting a Territory War specific Omicron here. You like how I'm bouncing back and forth? I just want to drive those people crazy right now. Don't worry, I'll stick to one after I drive you guys crazy today. And some people are like, you know, it seems a little underwhelming. And I can definitely see on paper it looks a bit underwhelming, but I'm going to give you some hypotheticals where it actually might be kind of neat. So, Darth Sidious getting an Omicron rework on his Sadistic Glee unique ability. Now, fun fact, a lot of people Zeta this to get through the Sith Eternal events. I was one of those people. You don't need the Zeta. It does make it a bit easier. But now if you want to take it a step further, you can slap on the Omicron, and it does some pretty interesting things, as I'm going to tell you here. So, the first part's the same as before in Sadistic Glee. When you got the Zeta, Darth Sidious recovers 20% of his max health and gains 50% turn meter whenever an enemy unit is defeated. In addition, he has 35% evasion against Jedi attacks, 6% potency, 50% potency, and gains max health equal to his potency percentage. Moving on, here's where the Omicron kicks in. While in Territory Wars, if all allies are Sith at the start of the battle, Sith allies gain max health equal to half of Darth Sidious' potency until the first time he is defeated. Excludes Galactic Legends. So Sith Eternal, Lord Vader won't benefit from this. And this, I think there needs to be some clarification. Some people aren't sure if it's just, so if you take, let's say, I don't know, how much is it? It's equal to half. So let's say he had 100% potency. Half of that would be 50. Does that mean you're just getting 50 increase in max health, or you're getting 50% increase in max health? My suspicion is very much so how he gains max health equal to his potency percentage. I have a feeling that's going to be the same, where everyone would get, for that example, 50% max health increase until the first time he's defeated. Moving on, the last part. When Darth Sidious uses demoralizing blows, the cooldown of this ability is reduced by 1 for each other Sith ally, and Darth Sidious gains 50 speed for 4 turns, which I assume is going to stack up to 200. potentially here. So, initial impression a lot of people are throwing out there, it seems underwhelming. And I do agree on paper, it doesn't seem as impressive as Qui-Gon Jinn. There's a lot of stuff going. Even Zam Wessel seems a bit more interesting than this. I was hoping when we first got the news that Sidious was going to get a little bump up, I was kind of hoping we were going to get the Secrets and Shadow version of him. And it seems like in the speed sense he will. But his offense doesn't seem like it's really going to be changed that much. Like in Secrets and Shadow, he can literally one-shot your entire Night Sister or Phoenix team, perhaps here. But let's just take a moment before we take a look at Chief Chirpa. Come on over here, really quick. Now, I'm not going to say that's going to be the best Omicron of all time. And keep in mind, not all Omicrons are going to be equal. Just like all Zetas are not equals, we're entering a new level of power in Galaxy. Some are going to be better than others, and that is simply just a fact here. So, Darth Sidious, let's assume we are correct in believing that everyone's going to gain a percent health increase based off half his potency. Let's just quickly do this. I'm going to organize everything by potency real quick, and I'm just going to slap on some mods and potency preferably here. Let's see. So we have let's see. We got Omega. Let's go ahead. Let's just keep bumping some stuff up here. Let's see. What else do we want to throw in here? Rolo. It looks like we got some potency there. That's fine. We're not going to focus on anything else right now. A few things that are going well for Darth Sidious. First things first. He is a very fast character. Not as fast as Gideon, but he definitely could be cranked up to a good degree in Galaxies to make sure he's getting lots of turns. Slap on all those speed increases, he should get a lot of turns. And secondly, the other thing I do like about him is that this Omicron is a unique ability. Unique abilities, Zetas and Omicrons, are going to have a lot more long-standing viability, whereas a leaders come and go. But you know what hasn't really gone? Veer's unique, a Zeta, one of the best Zetas back in the day when it first came out. It is still a great Zeta to this day because they act as mini leadership abilities here. So here's an example right here. We're at 146% potency. You probably could bump it more if I focus a bit more and slice up some mods. He gets 50% extra potency through his unique ability. So 200% potency. Very easy to get him up because he already has some pretty decent potency to work with. Well, if you're going to get half a percentage of that, so let's just say we're at 200%, 100% max health increase. If we're understanding this correctly, that's a pretty decent durability boost for the team right there if you're running a full Sith team. Let's take it a step further. Your team's going to be a bit more durable. Sidious should be pretty fast. We're going to revert. We're not going to keep these mods on here. And if he's going to constantly reduce his cooldowns on demoralizing blows, it's a cooldown of 4. He only needs 3 other Sith ally on the team. Of course, if you have a 4th one, you're good, but you only need 3 other Sith ally on the team to constantly spam demoralizing blows over and over again. Fast, high potency, durable team. And here's the other thing here. Emperor Palpatine. It's getting Mara Jade, and Mara Jade seems like she's going to be very well, in a very well-suited place. With Emperor Palpatine, we're going to be testing that tomorrow in a live stream. Really looking forward to it. So Emperor Palpatine's back on the radar. You have a fast Sith character, making your Palpatine team more durable. And the only unfortunate thing is Mara Jade isn't quite a Sith, so ignore that for a moment. If you're constantly getting Sidious out there, spamming the debuff, all the damage over time, all the exposes, that's going to be a lot of turn meter. That's going to be pushing that team. Emperor Palpatine's Emperor of the Galactic Empire. Turn meter like crazy. Another idea is Darth Vader. If you can have Darth Sidious constantly bring out tons of AoEs and landing the damage over times, well, those damage over times, they're going to stick. They're inspiring to fear. They won't go anywhere until Darth Vader's defeated. And furthermore, getting 20% turn meter removal potentially on the enemy team. So if you have a fast Darth Sidious that's constantly spamming AoEs, yeah, it looks like his damage might not change much from before, but at least he's pushing turn meter back, getting debuffs to go, which either would be great for Darth Vader or great for Emperor Palpatine. Those are just a few quick examples out there. So although I do agree that maybe on paper, Darth Sidious doesn't look to be as impressive. But again, we can't really give a full opinion until we actually test them out. Hopefully we'll start seeing it. Now, my only issue is, I mean, Territory Wars, after these Grand Arena changes, is either our first or second most important game mode in the game. Maybe third. Maybe Conquest is somewhat. No matter how you take it, Conquest, Territory Battles, Grand Arena Territories are the most important game modes in the game. And obviously it's going to vary depending on where you're at. Territories is something I'm going to do. I'm not quite sure. Grand Arena seems a bit more important for someone like me. But this, I think, if you're someone that's pushing for Sith Eternal, you need to have a Sidious anyways. It might be great to throw with your Darth Vader, throw with Emperor Palpatine. So I think you definitely will get some use. I think this is going to be perfect. If you're just chasing after one galactic legend, that Sith Eternal, I think it's a no-brainer. Kind of like how Captain Phasma has been fantastic for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren pushers. And they're not planning on getting Star Killer or Boba Fett Sign of Jango anytime soon. So I hope that maybe gives you a little bit of hope that maybe Darth Sidious will have some degree of use that we're maybe not seeing yet until he's in action. Moving on to Chief Chirpa now. Chief Chirpa, Ewoks. Funny little crew those guys are. Back in the day when they first got, they were never god tier, but they could be annoying, and they could find some decent ways to be useful on offense here. He's getting a Omicron bump. Omicron bump. I have to throw it both ways at you guys here. On simple tactics, his leader ability here. So let's check this out. Final new text with Zeta and the Omicron. Ewok allies gain 20% Terminator and deal 10% more damage whenever they perform a basic attack. These effects are half for other allies. Whenever an Ewok ally uses this special ability, 6% chance to call another random Ewok ally to assist. And now here we go with the Omicron while in Grand Arenas. This is nice. Ewok's getting plus 30 speed, so that's like a free arrow of speed right there. Set the 7th mod for your team. Ewok allies deal an additional 40% more damage with basic abilities and have an additional 40% chance to call an Ewok ally to assist when using a special ability. And if you take 60% before and then you throw on 40%, you're basically guaranteed to call another Ewok ally to assist when using a special ability. So this team's going to be even faster than before and should hypothetically do more damage when throwing out those basics and have more chances to assist here. Again, is it going to be the greatest one of all time? I don't know. I mean, seeing Boba Fett's line of Django, we saw, for example, Captain Phasma, Star Killer, Qui-Gon Jinn. There's going to be a lot of contenders on the table. And here, the fact that it matters, this is one thing I like about scarce materials. It sucks that Omicrons weren't rolled out the same way as Zetas, and there is a bit more discrepancy than the Zetas would initially release. But the cool thing is, for the next 2 years, having Omicrons is going to be a big deal, and it's going to start separating rosters from others, whereas right now, everything's kind of almost the same unless you're a brand new player in the game. Everyone's got the same Zetas, everyone's got the same characters geared up. Now you're going to start seeing a bit more flavor and personality. I don't see myself slapping this on Ewoks for a very, very long time, but if you're someone that's pushing after all the rebel-based stuff, let's see C-3PO and whatnot, which is an important character for nesting into a lot of other stuff out there, Ewoks are going to be laying around, and the sad matter is you're not really going to use Ewoks a lot beyond getting C-3PO. They're more useful than, say, the Phoenix, for example. So this Omicron might be a bit interesting with Wicket being in there. There's a ton of assists going on, and I have to wait and see what time will tell for these guys. But just being able to get them that extra arrow speed, that's going to be one of the most important things. The problem they mostly have is that they can easily get outran. And then once you're getting outran, you can't do much. But if they can, for example, jump ahead of a lot of fast teams out there, you might be able to roll some big plays and let them see the full might of the Ewoks. So point of the story today is, on paper, these two characters don't seem as nuts and crazy as a lot of the other previous Omicrons they've seen to date. But paper is one thing, action is one thing. I've seen characters where their kit looks lackluster, but they turn out great in action. And I've seen the other way around. Darth Sidious, her kit looks amazing on paper, in action, a bit more to desire, I suppose. I do want to put this out there before we wrap up. I'm a bit sad they didn't throw on the Separatist tag on Darth Sidious. I think that would have been great. I think, honestly, I would rather take him having a Separatist tag over potentially an Omicron, in my humble opinion. But that's just me. But you guys, you know how the drill works. I'm going to pass that on over to you guys. How are you going to be rocking the Omicron? Is it Omicron? Is it Omicron? They did say it's not Omnicron. They did say that is one thing that they can take from a consensus. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Are you Team Sidious? Are you Team Ewoks, baby? All I know is that we're on the same team. We're all in this together. Don't you dare start singing that song at me, but you know what you can sing, baby? Always remember, baby, it's great to be in the Empire today.